So that is the news for the week. And tonight's guest, let me give him a proper introduction because I know you guys are excited to see him. Tonight's guest is a South Louisiana boy who's carved out his own lane in country music and Southern rock, mixing Leonard Skinner grit with that Bob Sager drifting style storytelling. His songs dig into real life, including the ups and downs we all go through. He's not just holding his own on the local scene either. He and his band, The Parish, have shared stages with some of the biggest names in the business. Darius, Rucker, Justin Moore, Brantley, Gilbert, Tracy Lawrence, Martina McBride, Clint Black, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Travis Tritt, Matchbox 20, and a lot of others out there. Bad Company, a lot of others. He's even played major events like JazzFest and South by Southwest, and was one of only 2 bands ever invited back for a repeat performance at the FanFest stage at Bayou Country Superfest in Baton Rouge. And on top of all of that, he's a songwriter with multiple self-released albums under his belt and writing credits alongside Nashville heavy hitters like Tony Stampley, Byron Hill, Casey Beathard, Jeff Bates, Randy Boudreaux, Doug Johnson, and Rick Huckaby, Paul Nelson, and a lot of others, including Jim McCormick, who we'll have on the show in a couple of weeks. From the Gulf Coast of Louisiana to the stages across the country, he keeps bringing honest songs and high-energy shows everywhere he goes. I haven't talked to him in a while, and I'm fired up to have him on the show tonight. Let's welcome to the show Mr. Jaryd Lane. What's up, brother? How are you, man? We found our applause button finally. So
Doing good. How about you?
How are you, man?
Doing good.
Doing well, man. A lot of people may not know, but Jaryd is a little under the weather tonight. We chatted a little bit through text earlier today, and he's playing through the pain tonight. He showed up for the people. So
I know, man. I wanted to do some songs, but it might not come off too good tonight.
He texted me earlier and said, "Man, I don't know if I could sing. I woke up yesterday with a little bit of the crud, and it's whipping me." So we just appreciate you coming on and chatting with us for a little bit, man. How's life treating?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Oh, it's good, man. You know, just doing our thing out there, rocking and rolling, and chasing kids around and trying to make the best out of it.
How many kids you got?
3.
3 kids?
Yeah, so they're getting a little older now, so and into everything. So enjoying some time doing that.
So the kids are full-time job, man, these days. So man, you're from Kaplan, Louisiana. That you were telling me earlier before we came on. That's a little bit south of Louisiana, south of Lafayette. Tell us a little bit about growing up in that part of the state, man.
Well, I mean, it's definitely a small town. You know, small town vibes, everything that comes with that. But I mean, it's cool. Like, I mean, we live on family property that I grew up on. So for me, that's pretty cool, you know. So, but I mean, we've been fortunate enough to get outside that area and kind of do the music thing and make a name for ourselves and go some pretty cool places playing music. So
growing up in Kaplan, was it a big deal to go out to Lafayette for the evening, go eat and stuff like that?
That's the only place to go. No, really. I mean, that's kind of, I mean, that's obviously the biggest town closest to us to do any of those activities. Yeah.
So how many people did you graduate with from Kaplan?
Oh, yeah. I barely even remember graduating.
I'm with you.
And
I guess it was a pretty small school.
Somebody I graduated with might be watching this, so they probably proved me wrong, but I want to say a couple hundred, 200-300.
Oh, that's bigger than I was thinking. Okay.
At most, I would have to say, but
okay, that's bigger than
I don't even know.
Somebody's gonna chime in and be like, "Dude, it was 35, man."
You graduated with 35?
No, I graduated with 100, man, and we had, and that was the biggest graduating class that we had at the time. So, So man, go ahead.
No, I was saying it was bigger than 35, but it, crazy.
Man, I'm not just saying this because you're on the show, but you've truly been one of my favorite singers since I first met you, man. You've got this great voice and this great sound, and I'm curious about some of your influences coming up and kind of how you found that sound that you have.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Really, man, it's really a pretty broad spectrum as far as artists and influences go. For the actual just kind of sitting down, singer-songwriter thing, acoustic guitar, those were guys like James Taylor and stuff like that, just true, like, I guess picking, singer-songwriter stuff. And but I guess more on the style that we do now. Man, the whole alternative rock was a huge thing for me, and still is. I mean, we actually just started doing a lot of those songs again, and it comes so natural for us because everybody in the band at some point prior to this band has played in those type of groups, cover band, rock cover bands and all this.
Yeah.
Bands like Matchbox 20, yeah, I mean, all those Three Doors Down, bands like that. And from the countryside, I mean, I've always kind of leaned more towards the aggressive or, a little bit outside the box stuff when it comes to country music. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Gary Allen.
Yeah.
I liked his style. It's a little edgy. So yeah, I mean, I could sit here all night and ramble on about guys who have influenced me for certain things. I mean, Bob Seger's a big one. That whole, just anthem rock, but it's still good storytelling that, people can relate to.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, there's more, but some of the biggest ones, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I can hear all of that in your sound too. So let's share a little bit about what kind of got you started in music. Did you have family in it, or?
Actually, no, man. Yeah, I actually got, and few people know this, but actually got into music, started playing the drums. So drums was kind of my first love as far as music goes, and to be honest with you, I still, a lot of the stuff I write comes from, uh, I, I guess you could say, like a real rhythmic uh, point, So I'm hearing the grooves in my head as I'm figuring it out on the guitar. So that was kind of the first, and I mean, really, that was like in high school, and long story short, I mean, was involved in a car accident in high school. Me and one of my real good friends, and he was just a super talented musician. The guy who could play everything: piano, guitar, saxophone, whatever. And had bummed up my knee, couldn't play drums, and couldn't even go to school. So my mom would bring me to his house, and he had acoustic guitars, and he was banged up a lot more than me, and we just sit there, man, and just, so that's how I started learning guitar. Really was from him. It's a guy named Shane Aber, and I mean, I can remember sitting. We would learn. Still to this day, went and watched this group not long ago. Was Tesla. I don't know if anybody remembers the Tesla 5-man acoustical jam album.
Oh yeah.
I sit there and just learned that thing front to back, and so that was kind of like, wow, like, okay, I want to start writing my own stuff, and then from there it just progressed to the bands. I mean, Travis Tritt was a big influence on me as far as country music goes. Huge Travis Tritt fan. And then, bands like Matchbox 20, when that stuff came out, I can tell you exactly where I was the first time I heard Matchbox 20, the song and the exact spot, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's what I want to do right there. So
So go ahead.
no, so I guess a lot of people don't know that I didn't really get into music playing guitar or trying to sing or writing or any of that stuff. So it just kind of came to be.
That's what was my next question, because I wasn't expecting that answer. What got you into singing? I mean, because obviously you're a killer singer, and I figured that was your first thing.
Man, for the only reason I could really think of, to be honest with you, is that I was playing drums with different groups, and there was a few that was original material, and nobody, at least as far as I was concerned, never really wanted to kind of take it to another level or try to pursue original material, and so that during that time, I mean, I was already kind of learning, guitar, acoustic guitar, pilling around with that and writing. So it just kind of happened. I just started gravitating more towards that, and eventually I had enough material to make an album, and yeah, been doing it ever since. So.
At some point, you realize the chicks dig it, I guess, and
Yeah,
we've got. I'm looking at the comments over here. We've got Lauren in the comments, watching from Karen Crow, Louisiana. Been a fan of Jaryd's. Been following him since 2009. Got to visit with him a couple of weeks ago. He's hands down my favorite, my absolute favorite artist.
Yeah.
Sweet of her. Thank y'all for chiming in. Thank y'all for the comments. That's amazing. It always makes it so much more fun whenever you guys are active in the comments, and I know that the guests always love it too. So, how's that feel, man, to hear that you're somebody's favorite artist?
Man, yeah, it's still to this day. It's still like, I don't want to say weird, but it's nothing that I didn't get into it for that. Like, you're grateful that people gravitate towards what you do, obviously, but I've never been good at that part.
Yeah,
pretty much suck at that part. But,
that's not, being humble is not the worst thing in the world, man.
Yeah.
We always talk, and we have people from that area on here about this, and it's truly unbelievable, man. But there is some serious talent from that part of the state. Well, if you look at the United States, there's some serious talent from Louisiana in general. And then whenever you break it down on even a more of a micro level, that Lafayette area is such a hot spot, man. Going back decades. So who are some of the guys from that region did you have any guys that whenever you were coming up, that you kind of looked up to from that region?
As far as the scene that we were on, I mean, I always respected like Roddy Romero and those guys. I mean, they're not the same genre that we do, obviously.
Yeah.
I just thought he always did what he did very well and represented Louisiana and the culture and everything in a really classy way. Even though we weren't playing the same style of music, and then I mean, Mark Broussard was obviously doing it as prior to us really doing it. So then was able to do a few things with his dad in the studio. And so, those guys kind of really probably influenced us to a certain extent. And I mean, the guys that I'm friends with now, I really didn't know prior to this, like, James Dupre, and, got to meet CJ Solar and all these guys. And I mean, super talented cats, but yeah, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of, and then now there's so many younger guys that I feel so out of touch with it. But yeah, I mean, I've come across them here and there, see them at shows, and yeah, I mean, just a lot of talent in this area for sure.
Yeah, it's always has been something. It's something down there, man. Something in that muddy water, in that swampy water. uh, what do you think it is? I mean, do you have any thoughts about like what makes Louisiana have this sort of a little bit of a different sound than other places?
And we get asked that question a lot, I guess, but I guess because we've been here so long, it's really hard to say one thing. But I mean, it's definitely the culture, because I mean, you obviously not going to experience some of the things anywhere else that like you do here. So
No doubt.
And the people, I mean, the people are great. So yeah, I would think the biggest thing is the culture and just the stuff that we even from the food to the scenery, it's definitely unique.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Mallory says, listen to his songs daily. He's a great person, truly a great singer and a songwriter. Pop that one on the screen there for you. Speaking of truly great singer and songwriter, I'm curious, what age did you start writing, and do you remember some of those first songs that you started writing?
Wow. No, I don't remember them, but I think I may have pilled around with stuff prior to this, but I remember me and the guy that I was talking about earlier that basically taught me a lot of stuff on guitar with Shane, and we actually wrote our graduation song and performed it at graduation. Somebody showed a picture not too long ago, and I kind of forgot about that. I can't tell you how the song goes or any of that stuff, but that was definitely one of the first, I guess, things with songwriting. And then from there, yeah, I mean, it was just hacking out stuff, man. And I mean, there's stuff that I'll probably never record, of course, but and even the songs, I have enough material to keep recording, but I mean, realistically, I'll never be able to record all those songs.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Prentice James says, good to see you, Jaryd. And another artist. And then Craig's clowning on you a little bit. He says he doesn't remember the ones that he just wrote.
That is a very true statement. Yeah.
Craig coming in giving you a hard time on live. Look here.
I mean, I don't use the iPad though, so if I forget it, we just keep rolling.
Lauren says, leave it to Jaryd to forget his own lyrics.
Yeah. I know, man.
I didn't ask for him to give you a hard time. I wasn't trying to set you up.
I'm definitely not the guy that listens to myself or any of the material that we've done. I mean, I say that to a certain extent, if we're rehearsing something or trying to do something with a live show, but I don't know, I guess you hear it so many times in the writing process, in the studio, then it's like by the time we give it to the people, it's like, man,
by the time you put it out, you're almost tired of it, man, as a writer.
Like, I don't listen to this anymore. But it's cool to because then you get to go play it, and that has its own, thing, that's its own vibe. So they kind of, really and truly, they kind of take on their own shape. Because I mean, there's very few songs that we probably play like we recorded them, and I mean that's kind of intentional. But I was always kind of one of those guys, like, there's certain things you can adjust, but it's like, okay, well, they can just listen to the record, if they want that version.
Yeah.
And it's not like totally off the wall, but I mean, we always kind of add our own, because I mean, it might be new players that are playing with us live than in the studio. So, yeah, but I'll definitely forget some lyrics here.
I had this conversation with somebody the other day, and I was like, "What did guys do before iPads? Did they just remember all the songs?"
Yeah, I'm still on that. Like I said, I've never broke out an iPad, man, or had lyrics jotted down. I mean, I've been doing little private shows where people will come up with like a phone or something, requesting a song. I'll still probably jack that up,
Well, I mean, we didn't have it coming up, man. I mean, you just pretty much you either had a binder or you just had to memorize a song.
Yeah.
And hope for the best.
Man, speaking of the binder, yeah, I forgot about that too. I had a binder, just printouts and like
it'd be like this
chords
thing
on top of the lyrics, Yeah, that's a throwback.
Little LCM throwback for the night.
Yeah.
We got Ashley's. I'm probably gonna butcher this one, but Gaydon, Louisiana, is that right? Says been a huge fan. You stay on my Pandora station, and then Amy says watching from Crowley. Just want to say thanks again for playing my birthday a few weeks ago. Well, happy birthday, Amy. And Lauren says thank God for the albums. So just trying to keep you updated with the comments over here. Always a lot of fun. So people describe you as like a mix of country, Southern rock, Americana. That's how people describe you. How would you describe your sound if somebody came up and said, how would you describe your sound to us? Is that pretty fair? Pretty fair?
Yeah. I mean, I guess as a whole would probably just say country rock, I mean, I've never claimed to be a straight ahead country guy artist either. I mean, look, I love George Strait. I can listen to George Strait, but I know I'm not that, but I'm also not the guy that's going to get on stage and scream, and I can't do that either, So it's all those influences in between that. But yeah, I mean, country rock would be a pretty fair spectrum of genres.
So when you do a show, do you purposely try to give a balance? Do you go in and just want to rock all night, or do you purposely try to strip some stuff down too? Or what's your strategy on that? Or does it depend on the show?
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely depend on the show. Because certain venues will kind of lean towards certain vibes, right? So, and I'm guilty. Like, I have a very hard time writing fast songs. So I'll have a phone book of mid to slow tempo songs, So, and even the fast ones that we've actually recorded, I've actually wrote them in a slower tempo just because it comes, I guess, probably because it comes more natural to me. And I never feel like it's forced. So, as far as a live set, I mean, yeah, we definitely try and mix it up as much as possible. But that's something that I've always struggled with for years, was that perfect blend of like, okay. And I think a big part of that is why we've incorporated like transitioning into songs a lot. So like no dead air, just because I don't want it to be so monotonous.
Yeah. Yeah. What about as a writer? How would you describe yourself as a writer? You like the ballads?
Yeah.
I can write. I feel like I tell people, like, I can write a ballad all day. Like, I just,
like,
on that.
So like one of the things that like I'm intrigued by is, so like I'm a big Aaron Lewis fan. I mean, even back as far as Stain, but the stuff that once he started kind of doing his own solo stuff, and I can remember going to watch him at the Hyman for the first time, solo acoustic, and I was like just floored because I'm like, man, everything is just like so chill, and the place is packed, and so like that's something that I've always kind of strived for, was to get to the point where my songs could reach people enough, or have enough of songs that people gravitate towards, to where they could be comfortable just kind of coming in that type of environment, and just acoustic, nothing fancy. So yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this have seen Aaron outside of the same thing, and that's pretty much what it is. It's like get up and sing, and nothing, no fireworks and swinging from the rafter thing.
When you sing like you sing, you don't have to necessarily have fireworks. You just let the boys do the work. That's right. You write a lot about, kind of what I would say real life stuff. Is there a song or two in your catalog that really means a lot to you? Lauren says "Addicted" will always be my favorite.
Yeah,
it changes and nothing fancy. Amy says.
Yeah. I mean, I've never really been one to lean towards certain songs more than the other. I guess I've heard Travis Tritt say this years ago, and it made so much sense. It's like they're kind of like your kids, So it's like to say you like one more than the other. You like them I like the songs for certain things, and it was certain times in your life where you write these things, but then you kind of give them to the people, and they become something else, really and truly. And we're just so there's very few songs where I can say, man, like even though I can relate and may have been a part of it. I think my phone's getting low. Honestly, no. I mean, it's they've all kind of got their own thing, and they fit perfect. Certain ones fit our vibe perfect. I mean, there's songs that I like that we've recorded that we've tried to play live that it was like, yeah, man, this is just not working for whatever reason. I don't even know, but it's weird, yeah.
No, I get it, man. I was just curious if you had one or two that kind of, you just never know when you talk to people.
I guess Country Boy Blues I have to probably put that in there just because I wrote the song with like no expectations at all whatsoever. That was on my first record. And radio just kind of picked that up. Like I wasn't pitching anything, and that just kind of took off. So that's kind of got its special thing as far as that goes to, kind of help your career take off. But yeah, I mean, certain songs, like I said, it just kind of has its own thing. It might be about certain people or certain topics, and some are harder to sing than others for different reasons. But yeah, I mean, I try not to think about it too much.
Do you prefer? You've written with some great writers. Do you prefer writing in a group, or do you like to write by yourself, or what's your preference?
Man, I really enjoy both. I guess as I get older and been doing this for a while, I really enjoy collaborating with other people, and I think that's why our group, the band as a whole, just gels so good because we've all kind of did all the other stuff already. So we're just here for one reason, really. It's because we just love music. I mean, we just love what we do. I think the collab can either go really good or really bad. I mean, I've written things with people that will never see the light of day. Just it's like you kind of finish and it's like, man, what just happened, And so like I have literally hundreds of ideas in my phone, and I'll send to our drummer Everett. I mean, he's really good at creative stuff and throwing out ideas, and so the collab thing has kind of changed over the years for me, so much as like just sitting in a room, like like the Nashville thing, which I've done plenty. I mean, countless times, and like I said, sometimes it works, and sometimes it just doesn't. So I've never really tried to force it.
Yeah. I hated the collaboration stuff for years, man. I fought it and fought it and fought it, and just wanted to write by myself. And then now I think I enjoy it more, but I'm with you, man. I fought it for a little while.
I find when you collab, you tend to not get in a rut or just the same vibe over and over. It might be the same type of melody or the same topic, or so different people might just throw. I mean, it could be small things, but it'll kind of be like, oh man, yeah, cool. I would never thought about that, but that is to me, and obviously it has to be the right people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
smart, talented people are fun to work with. Yeah.
People who would think outside the box.
Yeah, no doubt. Push you a little bit. I enjoy getting pushed more now. Lindsay, she says, tell him Chase Tyler's wife says hi. She says, really just my favorite. Second would be, what are we fighting for? Let's see. Yeah. Amy says, I preferred Jaryd's version of Flyover States over Aldean's. We talked about that a little bit before the show started. Great tune, man. Neal Thrasher. Greg said, not she gets me. Ha ha ha. And then Mallory says, love the raw demos. Yeah, that's kind of going to lead me to this next question. It's kind of a long one, but there's a weird thing that I've tried to explain to people over the years because it seems counterintuitive. Most artists are going to sound better in the studio, always. But there's certain artists, and you being one of them, that have such this raw and real sound that it's almost harder to capture that in a studio than it is in person. And you've done a good job of having that emotion transfer to records. But I know other people who have struggled with that. And it's one of those weird things that most people would never think about, but it's really hard to capture that sound and that emotion on a record. And how do you approach that in the studio? Because you have been successful at it.
I mean, honestly, it's something that I still struggle with to this day because believe it or not, I'm really not a fan of the studio. I'm not a fan of a controlled environment like that, I guess, I've been saying for years, and we've still never done it for whatever reason, but we should doing a live record, just because, I mean, the vibe is, the imperfections are cool. The vibe is different. And I don't know, man, that's a great question because I've cut it both ways. I've cut with Nashville players where, they're doing stuff that I can't do. And which is cool. It comes off great. And I mean, we'll go cut with the band even, but it's just something about being in the studio and that controlled environment, and whether it be like playing to a click track or whatever, or always feel like you're on the clock.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're paying for this stuff, and I mean, so it's. I mean, as the minutes go by, the dollar signs are flying. So
yeah,
and that's for me. It's hard to be creative that way. So a lot of things. Well, one thing that works well for me is that I'll go in and cut acoustic first, and that way I can experiment with it and not feel like it's almost like acoustic demos, but kind of more polished that could. Find its way in the song later, and live with those and give those to the band. It's like, okay, well, this is what started, and I just let everybody do their own thing. I mean, I have ideas, but for the most part, it's everybody just kind of plays their own thing, and it's everybody's pretty much on the same page with our group, so it's not like somebody trying to play something off the wall.
Yeah, nobody's in there overplaying or whatever,
No, man. Like our guitar player, Greg, man, that's one of the things I wish I could do is that he's like the colorful. He has the color to it. Like really, I mean, it's just so tasteful, but it could be simple, and it's not like it's not about how many notes you play,
Yeah. No doubt about it, man. You've shared the stage with some pretty big artists over the years. Do you have some memories that kind of stand out to you with certain shows or anything like that? That may have not even been a big name, but you have some shows that really you look back and proud of?
Yeah, I mean the first time I did a show with Travis Tritt, I was I won't say nervous, but I was like that was kind of surreal, because I mean I've been a huge Travis Tritt fan prior to that. Um, he was one of those guys where I could play probably the majority of his collection. So to watch those guys, and it wasn't even so much just being in the same room, it was getting to watch those guys that you've looked up to, how they function. Like I'm talking everything from load-ins to sound checks to meet and greets to all that stuff. Like that's the stuff that I enjoy taking in the most, watching, because I mean these guys have sold millions of records, right? So they know how to do it to the highest level. So that was always pretty cool to me. I mean, yeah, there's to be honest with you, there's some shows I can't even remember all the people we played with. Playing with Darius Rucker was pretty cool, because I mean, I was that kid learning Hootie and the Blowfish songs, and having that conversation with him. I forget where we were. Well, we were downtown Lafayette, I believe, and he was like, "Man, I've played here before with Hootie, like right before they blew up." And he said it was down this road. I think it was by the railroad tracks. I was like, "Yeah, man, it was Grand Street Dance Hall." I mean, you remember that kind of stuff. So it was just cool. Like that was cooler to me than stepping on stage in front of. I mean, I don't know how many people were there that night, 10,000, whatever. It was a lot, but that's its own thing. But like to be able to have those conversations and like, yeah, I'll play Grand Street too.
Yeah. And you learn a lot about those guys, man. Before the show, how they interact with other people and how they treat other people, and
yeah,
sometimes you're a little disappointed. I never say those names, but every now and then I've been like, oh man, I was expecting a little better out of that person. But most of the time, I think people are cool, and the artists have been cool that I've been around mostly. Craig's telling me to ask you about singing in front of Drew Brees and Sean Payton.
Yeah. Oh, that was the most. I've never. I can't say I've ever really been nervous to perform. You get like jitters or whatever. Just. But that was very nerve wracking. I mean, first of all, you're in this huge auditorium, and so you're having to adjust to that because you might say a word, but there's such a delay. So like I started, and she was like, "No, you're gonna have to sing it slower. You're gonna have to sing it slower." So that was its own thing, trying to adjust to that, and then you're worried about not forgetting the words because like that's one of those songs. If you jack up, like people are gonna know, and she finally came get me out of the room, and she was like, "All right, let's go. We'll get on the field," and we walked down to the 50-yard line. And I mean, everybody's out there. She was like, "All right, let's go." You walk to center field, and flags out. And she's like, hands me the mic, and you turn around, and it's. I mean, at that time it was, I mean, Drew Brees, Jimmy Graham, I mean, all these guys, Sean Payton. It's like, man. All I could think was just don't forget the words,
That's of a lot of people that I talk to that sing that's more common than any other statement before they start is like, don't forget the words. That's the last thought in their brain.
Yeah. By far the hardest like performance I've ever had to do.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, it's such a popular song. And I mean, you could go probably to this day on YouTube and guys that I enjoy listening to and have influenced me, artists, and have butchered the national anthem. And it's like, oh, man.
Yeah. And then you have Stapleton that did what he did, and you're just like, oh my goodness.
That was crazy.
Kind of on the flip side, and I know you're not feeling good tonight, man, so we'll wrap this thing up pretty quickly. On the flip side, is there a smaller gig that you've played, like a small room or something like that you really like that stands out to you?
Yeah, there have been several actually. I think so. Like early on, which when we kind of first started playing, like we just travel around with an acoustic guitar, and me and the guitar player, and then my buddy Mike Dean, we do shows together. And there was a place somewhere, it was like in, I think it was Opelousas or Ville Platte. I think it was Chips. I think that's where Chips was. And I mean, me going there, I mean, fire marshal was probably 150, and we'd have, three, whatever. It was retarded. Way more people than we should. And I mean, you'd open the doors to the side, and the smoke was literally rolling out. One of those dies, honky tonks, and but you'd play, and man, people would just sing like every word, like to the point where like you couldn't even hear yourself anymore. Everybody was so engaged. So like I'll always remember those moments. And then some of the really cooler venues, like I got a chance to do the Opera House. That those auditorium with just great acoustics. The ACA in Lafayette did a show with Clint Black over there. I mean, those the Hyman Center. Those type of venues just gravitate towards that, like what we were talking about earlier, that more chilled out, Aaron Lewis vibe, So that's things that I always remember. The big shows, yeah, I mean, we've had a bunch, and it's cool, and it's cool up there to be with the band and rocking, and you can't recreate that. But to be able to just sit there with a guitar and just have people engaged, that's pretty cool to me.
Yeah, I think I would say the majority of artists like the smaller shows, probably like what you're talking about, like the auditorium style where people are just sitting there listening, probably more so than any other show.
Yeah, I mean, like to me, that would be a great living. Like if you could just do that.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, everybody's there for one reason, obviously, but there's there's no extra background noise,
Yeah. Let's see here, man. I'm gonna narrow it down to a couple more for you. Let's see here. So one of the things I'm curious, like, so nowadays kids will kind of go viral on TikTok or whatever, but they've never played a 2 or 3 hour set in their life. What are some advantages of having to, you've been doing this a long time, man. You've been doing this before TikTok. What are some of the advantages of having to grind out there and get in front of those crowds and be scared to death and figure that shit out on the fly? Like, what are some advantages of that?
I would say probably the biggest thing is you really get to own in on your craft, right? You learn what works, you learn what doesn't, and you learn it sometimes the hard way. And it's like, okay, well, I'm never doing that again. But that would be one of the biggest things. And I heard a quote from Kid Rock years ago, and I mean, we all joke about this a lot. It's like, and I think it might have been something to do with Idol, which I'm not knocking any of the shows. I mean, hey, whatever works for people. But I found it interesting because he was like, it must suck to be famous and be broke. Like you have all this notoriety and all this attention, and I'm not saying all of them, but I'm sure there's quite a few. I mean, they don't even know what kind of artist you want to be. And I mean, there's guys. I'm a huge Daughtry fan. I mean, Daughtry came off of Idol, but it was very clear to me that he knew who he was, and he was doing it prior to that. So those guys kind of a different level, but as a whole, I was like, man, that kind of makes a lot of sense. Like, it's already hard enough to make it or to stay sane whenever you've kind of came in through the trenches and negotiate stuff. And it's like, no, like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not doing this for the wrong reasons. Like, this is who we are. If you like it, cool. If not, Cool. Like I'm not really trying to impress anybody. I mean, when you start, I mean, obviously you're trying to build a name and stuff, so you'll do things that, um, I guess as a young artist will do. I mean, doing shows that really probably don't want to do stuff like that. But um, yeah, I don't know, man. The social media thing is definitely its own thing.
Yeah, no doubt, man. How have you balanced those highs and lows that you talking about, that grind and stuff like that over the years? How have you kind of stayed balanced out through those?
I think having the right people, especially the right members in your band, who aren't really interested in any of the extra stuff. But I think at the end of the day, man, it has for the love. I mean, it's for the love of the music. That always has to win over the money, over any notoriety, all that stuff. If you don't love music and if you don't love what you're doing or love creating and doing the artistry thing, you know, your longevity, you won't have longevity. I'm convinced of that. I mean, I've seen it, and with good people, cool guys, But it was, hate to say it, but it's obvious why certain people are in it.
Yeah.
And if it's not for the music, there's too much of this, man. There's too many. I mean, we can go play a show. I mean, go do a show with Darius in front of thousands of people and drive to wherever the next night and play for 100 people. Let's talk about a roller coaster ride, But yeah, I mean, the love of music, man. I mean, that's what keeps me wanting to make records. It's creating something.
Can't not do it, huh?
No, I don't think so. I think it's one of those things where if it's in you, and it doesn't matter what level you want to do it at, I think you're going to do it regardless. You're going to find a way. And whether you make records and give them to your family and friends, I mean, it's just something about creating that thing that people gravitate towards and kind of make their own. And there's just something really rewarding in that, not the paycheck or the somebody knowing who you are. I mean, I could do like the dude, like I think it's Tool, the singer or something. I think they sing behind like a screen or something crazy, I think they were, I throw jokes all the time. It's like, man, we ought to face backwards tonight.
We got JP from down the bayou tuning in, another up and coming artist, good guy from down in I guess JP, he's from Raceland area down there. And then we've got Jill saying Louisiana country music at Barnes and Noble in Baton Rouge. I don't know, Jill. We may be able to make that happen. I don't know. You have to reach out to us. Louisiana country music at gmail.com. So, man, before I get you out of here, what do you hope that 2026 has in store for Jaryd Lane?
Man, I mean, we're working on the material. I mean, I'm always kind of writing and hacking out ideas, and like I said, I've been in the studio fairly recently working on stuff, and so I'm really hoping to just I've got ideas and things we want to do, and projects as far as new material. So that's something that I would really like to do, and just keeping new music fresh and giving the people something else. But and yeah, I mean, we kind of more selective on the shows we do nowadays. I mean, if good things come about, we still enjoy playing too. We just, like I said, we just kind of in it for different reasons now. So, but definitely creating new music. I kind of want to go.
We'll have to do some things with Louisiana country music and Jaryd Lane in the new year, some writers retreats, and Craig's already talking about some stuff. So We'll make it happen, man. Something's happening with our audio now, so I guess it's a good time. Anyway, man. Well, it may be, man. Well, brother, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming in and fighting through the sickness with us tonight, spending a little time with us. I know being sick's no fun, and hanging out for an hour is a long time. We appreciate it.
Maybe next time we'll hack out a few guitars, break out a few guitars and sing a few songs. But I appreciate you for having me, man. It's always been tough for you.
Well, I appreciate you, brother, and we'll see you here soon, man. All right. All right, guys. Well, we hope you enjoyed the show tonight. If so, make sure to tune in every Tuesday night at 7. You'll meet a lot of awesome Louisiana artists over the next year, because we do this every Tuesday night. A lot of great talent out there. Thank you guys for being awesome in the comments. It's so much fun whenever you guys are just active, and it makes the artists feel good, I know, and it makes us feel good too. Again, please make sure to follow, like, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Let's show the world what Louisiana country music is about. Check out our website. Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless all the Louisiana folks out there. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you again next Tuesday night right here on Louisiana Country Music Live.